I think American muscle is more than just combustion engines, and I was hoping that you could give me your best definition of what it is.
I think that American muscle is as old as American itself. It's American ingenuity. So just because the rules change doesn't mean we're not going to get in there and make it fast and have some fun. And, as I say, scare women and children.
Hey guys, welcome to Overcrest. I'm Kris.
And I'm Jake.
And we have a fun-filled episode for you guys today. And I don't have my show notes up, but I think I have a pretty good idea.
That was very sing-songy.
Well, are we going to criticize every intro to the podcast?
You started it.
Lots of stuff today. Richard Rawlings is coming on the podcast. He's got a new project that he wants to talk to us about. We've got some voicemails, news, and a bit of ranting and complaining here and there as always. As always. We got some car updates for you, all kinds of fun stuff.
Yes. If you're not watching us, because this is also visual besides just an audio podcast, you can do that over at YouTube or on the Spotify app.
Or you could be watching live
if
right
you are
now.
A Drivers Club
member. If you're a Drivers Club member, you could be watching live. That's a big deal. All day. The stream's just up. All the interviews that we're doing. We've got our interview next week. That's on there.
That's awesome.
It's not anything before or after the episode because it doesn't work if we're not recording, but you can hang out while we're recording. You can just see what's going on. There's a chat there. You can commiserate with your friends or enemies.
Or tell Kris he's wrong.
I don't look at the chat because I just can't. I
that better be my job.
The chat is for you guys. You guys can look at the chat. That's great. So I have a little bit of a rant to do.
I'm sure you do.
I hate home improvement.
Yeah, I know this.
And I know that you like it.
I don't like it, but
you consider it easy.
Yes, I'm capable. I have a lot of experience with it, I think is maybe the difference.
Why is it so hard?
It's not.
It is.
What?
Because it's
you used a very good word, though, that I will stipulate. It's not as precise.
It is imprecise.
As mechanical work.
That's what I was going to say.
Yes.
When I go to put something together on a car, it's all exactly where it needs to be within millimeters because it's all designed in CAD, right? So it's all just like boop, beep, boop, boop. Everything
fits.
bolts together. Everything fits.
Even if you're like you were making something else fit that wasn't supposed to,
it still goes in exactly this spot. This is the only place it can go
to make it work.
With this, I was just, for example, I'm doing plumbing underneath the pedestal sink that I did.
Yes. So you basically renovated a bathroom.
Yes, and you have, dude. The rubber gaskets that go on pipes to hold them together, all this stuff can just be like, it can kind of be here, it can kind of be there, it can kind of be over here, but it has to be exactly here or it's going to leak.
Yes.
But there is no reference for where exactly here is.
Well, that's why everything's a slip joint with plumbing. You're talking about like drain pipes.
Yeah, like the coupling.
Otherwise, you know what's like the greatest invention ever in the last 2 decades is PEX. If you're doing any actual in-wall plumbing,
but this
used to be sweated copper.
Yeah, but not for drains. Not for drains.
No, that's still
this
PVC
is a drain
piping.
Yeah,
correct.
This is still a drain.
And that's either you cut and build it to fit, or it's flex joints, slip joints.
Well, I'm not going to do flex joints.
Flex joints are dumb.
Yes,
I know. That's not what I meant. But yes, they do make the little.
So you have a slip joint, so you can kind of expand and contract things, whatever.
Yeah.
But the coupler that you screw on.
Yep.
Is such a shit show.
Why?
Because it leaks unless that rubber gasket in there is in exactly the right spot.
Yeah.
So when I bolt something together on a car, just for the cooling system, this stuff is operating at 200 degrees for
pressure,
thousands of hours under high pressure.
Yeah.
And we can just screw it together.
Yeah.
Why can't we do that with plumbing? Why is it these little shitty rubber?
I don't think I've really had that much trouble with plumbing.
It's like I put everything together 3 times and it's leaking. I finally just got a bunch of.
I'm assuming you use the plastic PVC.
No, I use.
You use stainless?
Brass, stainless.
Okay, because that usually works much better.
It just didn't, and I ended up. It was leaking up by the sink. I ended up just going buying plumber's putty and just mangling a bunch of plumber's putty in by the drain area where it was leaking. And hopefully it just stays.
Ideal.
That's not ideal.
Why was it leaking?
I don't know.
Angles not right?
I have no idea. It just leaks. And of course you can't. I think the hardest thing about plumbing. Okay, here's what it is.
What?
You're always
patience.
You're like, this is you doing plumbing. Okay, you're always like this, and you're on your back, and your leg is up here.
This is why you need to be watching the visual because Kris is contorting himself.
Because that's what you have to do.
Yes.
To get it, you can't see anything. You're doing it all by feel. and I have like these like gouges on the inside of my thumb.
Yeah,
like
you need to man up, get some calluses going, and
just from like trying to like tighten these things by hand after I tried to tighten with a wrench.
Yeah,
and it's such shitty metal that it burrs as soon as you touch it with a wrench. It gets these little cuts and scrapes in there
because all of the plating,
because it's absolute garbage. Well, it's all garbage.
It's a different skill set, and you're not supposed to be.
It's lower quality.
Well, sure,
because it's lower quality.
Because what did you say? It's not meant to handle, thousands of miles.
Yeah, instead it can handle 0.
0 miles? Yeah, your house shouldn't be moving.
I would love to find like, why doesn't it just all bolt together and then you have the flexible piece at the end?
Because you said flex stuff is dumb.
Not the flex, like the sliding in and the outie part.
Yeah.
Why can't you just have that part?
Because the height is also different. You need 2 axes of adjustment.
Yeah, but why do
Actually, you need 3.
So you have a P-trap, it comes out of the wall like this, it comes around. It's all like 3 different pieces.
Yeah.
Just have one piece.
Well, they make them, but
I didn't see them. They weren't for sale. They were not. I didn't need it to adjust. I can adjust this way, horizontally and vertically. That's all the adjustment that you should need.
But you're assuming your sink is directly in line with the plumbing coming out of the wall.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of times it's not. So you need adjustment in a third dimension.
And then wiring is kind of like, we're just going to hammer it into this place here. And I have a split level.
But you do need to be more precise with wiring.
No, you don't.
Well, you have to be careful with wiring because there's a huge, like, if you have a wiring go bad, then you have
a circuit breaker that blows.
Well, yes, but until then it's arcing slowly and then it starts something on fire. You have to be careful with wiring.
No.
I've done all my own wiring.
I wired this and it was a pain in the ass because
what are you wiring?
A new vanity mirror.
Okay.
With an LED
What
thing
are you
in it.
using to wire it?
14.2 or 15.2 Romex
and you have
wiring.
The new style connectors.
I have no idea what I used.
You used buddy nuts, didn't you?
What are a buddy nut?
What are you doing?
A buddy nut sounds like something you do with your
dude. These are
boyfriend.
Such basic.
Hey,
God! Do I need to come inspect your work?
Sure, come on over. I put like wire nuts.
Did you pull a building permit, Kris?
I put wire nuts on. I didn't hook up
the
neutral because I don't.
Why?
Because there was no neutral in the wiring that I connected it to in the lamp.
Well, then your circuit breaker won't break.
Oh,
that's how that works.
Okay.
So yes, you.
Well, I'm not taking it down. I'll tell you that right now. So I put the buddy nut.
Yeah,
which still sounds like something like
a girl. They make push connectors now that are safer and better.
Okay, well, I don't know about that type of thing.
Clearly.
So I
use buddy nuts. I didn't connect the third wire. What the hell's the third wire do? You don't need that for anything.
It wasn't connected in the ceiling light where I tied into. So
yes,
I was like,
but outlets need it.
It's not an outlet.
Okay.
It's a lot.
A lot of times lighting circuits do not have it, but outlets definitely need.
Okay, well, this isn't I guess it does have an outlet in it.
Well, there you go. It needs the ground.
Why? What do you mean grandfather's house has.
Also, this is a bathroom. Does it have a GFI circuit? What's GFI stand for? Ground fault interrupt. Because water, anything you have near water needs a GFI circuit, which is another protector beyond just the circuit breaker. It's an inline protector in the circuit itself.
No. You know why I don't need that?
Tell me.
Because I don't use hair dryers and I don't use curling irons and I don't fill the sink up with water.
But someone will.
Are you going to come over and electrocute yourself in my bathroom?
Just saying it's not good.
It's stupid.
Well, this is why I'm saying you need to be careful with electrical.
Okay.
There
was like 6 people that probably died because they're idiots. And then someone decided, we better come out.
About being electrocuted. I've been electrocuted a lot at 110.
It's not. It feels weird.
Wakes you up.
Yeah, it certainly does.
But no, it's the fire.
It's one of those things.
It's the fire hazard that really scares me. And that's what you're playing with right now.
Fire hazards. Okay.
Yes.
I don't care. It's fine.
My house is gonna burn down. The pets are inside. The kids are inside.
Why would it burn down?
Because you can have arcing between these circuits now that aren't protected.
What kind of
moisture? You don't even have to like drop something plugged in. What about steam? If you're going to be using really hot
all the connections are in the basement.
What did you wire up? You wire something above the sink, right? Where moisture and steam
first of all
and condense.
There's no shower in this bathroom.
Do you have hot water?
Dude,
to the sink.
Give me a break. There's no way you're creating enough. Hold on. There's no way you're creating enough steam by running hot water to wash your hands to somehow fill up the entire bathroom with steam to the point where it's going to cause a moisture issue. Plus, the connections are inside the wall, down like a foot, inside the drywall and down. There's no way. They're
okay.
They're wire nutted. They got your favorite thing, the buddy nut, on them. I'm
just using a term,
and then
the correct term.
Stupid term because it's
I didn't make
easily
it up.
manipulated into semen. So you put your buddy nut on there, and then I wrapped it all up with electrical tape
which you shouldn't do.
Why?
Because electrical tape can burn.
No, it can't.
Yes, it can.
Electrical tape specifically doesn't burn.
100% incorrect. Have you ever lit electrical fire up on fire? I'm so angry with you. Oh my goodness, dude. You do not use electrical tape in household wiring.
Hey, remember that time I said, hey, Jake, come over and help me out? And you went, eh.
Well, had I known you were doing such a terrible, dangerous job.
This dude, come on. There's so many houses that still exist that just have like knob and tube.
Yes, and they scare the shit out of me. I would not live in one.
You wouldn't live in one?
No. I would redo all the wiring up to code. And keep in mind, I am not an electrician. I do not know code. I know common fucking sense.
This is common sense. It's just like
common doing it wrong. It's wrong sense is what that is.
I don't know. It seems to make sense
to
me.
No.
I thought about even just
no GFI in a bathroom, electrical tape around connectors.
Okay, so I honestly
think ground fault wire
in the electrical outlet that's in the mirror. I think it's a GFI outlet. It's built into the mirror.
Does it have a reset button?
I don't remember.
Then it's not.
And if it doesn't, I'll pull it out and I'll put a GFI one.
That would be good.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
A little happier. I don't know if you need though See,
this is my point.
It's an outlet.
This is my point.
What?
There's no unless you're an electrician, there's no rules. It's just kind of like
there are very specific rules for a reason.
Not for a layman. What am I supposed to do? Do a bunch of research so I can wire up a vanity? No, I hate all of this.
Call me.
I did. You told me to fuck off.
Well, at least do a FaceTime consult if you're not sure.
It's fine.
It absolutely is fine.
It's 100% fine.
You're playing with odds here.
Astronomical odds.
Okay.
Astronomical.
I'm not happy with that for you. I am not happy with that.
What do you think the amperage of an LED mirror is drawing?
It doesn't matter. What is available current at that juncture?
15 amps.
Yeah, 15 amp circuit.
Yeah.
That'll start a fire.
How is it going to start a fire?
Okay, take your two wires, your hot.
I understand how sparks work.
Yeah, and now arc it with your electrical tape in the middle of the arc. Poof.
Why is it going to arc in the electrical tape? It's buddy nutted off.
Did you test the tension of the wires?
Yes, I pulled on them.
I'm just saying this is not the ideal way to do it.
But it's fine.
Sure.
Great. Moving on.
Until your house burns down.
It's not going to happen. It's just not.
Okay, but you also do need a neutral copper wire for that outlet because it's an outlet.
Yes, I will do that. I will take it down and put the neutral thing on, and then I'll probably do the stupid slippy new style connectors
and GFI
and a GFI thing.
Yes.
Will that make you happy?
It'll make me a lot happier.
Okay. I don't want to pull that stupid mirror.
And it's not you. First, okay. Last question. You have an electrical box on the stud behind there. It's not just wires hanging in the wall, is it? You have a junction box. Fucking dude.
I can't get in the wall. I'd have to cut a hole in the wall in the drywall.
Yeah, that the vanity goes on top of, right?
No.
Still, you need to have a junction box. You cannot have. You have an outlet just hanging on the wall
inside the wall.
No. So this thing plugs into an outlet that you have loose in the wall.
There's no outlet in the wall. It's. How long have we been doing this? 15 minutes. Oh my God.
Doesn't matter. This is serious. This is bad. This is bad.
I have the wires.
I
have.
Okay.
Let me tell you what I did.
But I'm going to tell you why it's wrong. There cannot be any electrical connection outside of a junction box. Period. That makes sense, doesn't it?
Why?
Because a junction box is fully insulated, right? And you can't have insulation get in there, which can also maybe arc or any other material, dust from other things that are coming down the wall, or like the 2x4s that are combustible. Have you, dude?
Yeah.
Have you looked at the bottom inside a sheetrock wall and be like, wow, there's a lot of crap in there. No wonder fires.
Okay, so I need to take the mirror off. I need to cut a hole in the wall, put a junction box in.
Yes. They make remodel boxes, which are acceptable. That means you don't have to cut a bigger hole than the junction box itself.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to tie into a stud. Remodel boxes are appropriate and up to code.
I'll figure it out. I understand what you're saying. I will do that. Because right now it is just a pigtail going with buddy nuts shoved through a hole
in a wall
that I cut with a hole saw.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude. No. I'm really happy we had this conversation.
Dude, I'm such a noob when it comes to this.
Yeah,
stuff.
call me, FaceTime me. How do I do this?
I did call you.
You said, hey,
I put it out there.
You should drive an hour up here to help me do
No,
these
I didn't
chores.
say that. I said, I'm doing this. I basically inferred that if you would like to, I'm not going to ask you to do anything. I'm not going to say, Jake, I need your help.
Okay.
But I put it out there.
Too stubborn for that.
No, I don't like asking anyone for help. If anybody wants to help, they can offer to help.
Okay.
Like normal people.
I'm not going to tell your wife, next time you start doing any house project, call me.
Fine. That's fine. And anytime you want me to weld something so it doesn't look like shit or drill out any spot welds, you call me and we'll get it straight on my car. So Porsche update.
Okay.
I'm flying
on
out.
Your Porsche.
My Porsche.
Not Porsche the company.
No.
Your car.
Nobody gives a shit about Porsche the company anymore.
Okay. They don't sell anything.
No, I don't know. Porsche is a company. I don't know where they're going. I don't know where anybody's going. Everybody's just floundering around at this point. Okay, so my Porsche update. I'm flying out to get it March 9th.
Wow. Awesome.
Engine is in.
Wow.
Yeah, and I thought I had.
Did they test fire? Like, are we good to go?
No, that's going to be this week.
Okay.
And no tuning needs to be done.
Right, because it's just put back together. As
is. Yeah. So Marco's doing.
You did slightly higher compression though. So mixture or something might change. Did you do different cams?
The cams are slightly different profile, but they're not. It's not going to change. It's not enough for it to change. No, it's not. I talked to Marco about this for a while. I trust him.
Dial back timing, maybe. They'll have to time it. Yeah, they'll have to time it.
Yeah, but of course they're going to have to time it. The whole freaking motor is part.
I know, but you're right. Yeah,
Marco's got it under control.
Need to change out any of the jetting or anything else.
And I'm going to fly out there and pick it up.
What's the plan? You going anywhere? You doing anything?
I got to hang out with Matt Crook. We're going to do some work for Overcrest. I got to meet up with Mike Burrows. Mike Burrows.
Makes sense. Mike Burrows.
We have a top secret project.
Yes, we do.
He and I, Overcrest and
I'm
Mike.
Excited.
And we can't tell anybody about it.
But everyone should be excited.
There you go. Top secret project with Mike.
So you're going to be doing that. That's
awesome. Be doing that. And I'm going to try and visit as many people as I can, as I always do. I'd like to see friends.
Awesome.
And
you have any sort of timeline? Book
9th
the flight
to the
out
14th.
There? Okay, so you have your flights booked already.
Everything's booked.
Wow.
I'm ready to go.
Okay.
And I thought, Marco called me. He's like, hey, man, I need the final payment. And I go, oh.
What? I thought
I did that. Because in my mind, I was done.
Yes.
And then I'm like, are you sure? He's like, yeah, I'm sure. I'm like, okay. And after we talked to Hansford, I'm like, really? So I went and looked. I'm like, holy shit.
You didn't pay it.
I didn't pay that final payment yet. So I have like 2 weeks to come up with this money. And
hence the cool garage sale.
Yeah, exactly. So we're talking or whatever. And he's like, yeah, so we pull out the oil tank. I'm like, stop, don't do any more work. Just stop doing everything. Oh my God. But everything's already been done. And it is what it is.
At this point.
Yeah. And it's got to be up to a standard that is Marco TLG standard.
Right.
So it's plus knowing how I drive it. And then the fact that the car is slightly a public figure. It's got to be up to a standard. Everything's got to be done right.
Yeah.
So, and Marco's the guy to do that. So
that's awesome.
I'm going to fly out there, pick up the car. And I don't know. I was like after that phone call, I was down.
Right.
Because I thought I was done,
the money.
So then that whole mourning process started all over again. Should I keep the car? Should I sell the car? And then I decided, I'm not fucking leaving.
Right.
And that's pretty much all
already established.
Yeah, we've already established that I am not.
So
leaving.
This brings up an interesting question of mine. You did an article a while back, your first 911, which was a white SC.
Oh, wow. Did you go back and look at that?
I've read that before.
Okay.
Yeah. But I was just thinking about this. You're going out to drive the car again after a long absence, a longing for sure. Right. And
I don't know, man. I don't think so.
What? You know where this is going already? You're answering my question before.
I don't know. Go ahead.
So the question is, when you rebuilt the motor on that SC, you rebuilt it back to factory spec.
Yes.
And you got in it and you drove it and it was exactly the same. There wasn't anything better, nothing gained, and it was disappointing, right?
That was back to back of like a shorter period of time, like 3 months.
Okay. So my question is, are you at all apprehensive or worried that you're going to get in and be like, underwhelmed?
No, I don't think so. It's been so long. You ever get in you have a car that you store in the winter.
Yeah.
And you go out and you hop in it in spring.
Yep.
And you're like, holy.
Well, or the other way around. Sometimes you build it up in your mind and you go, this isn't as fast as I remember.
Yeah, that's usually, I don't think. I'm always like, holy, what an experience.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times.
It's not even about the power.
Despite popular belief on the internet, because I have a 911 on my profile, I don't have any money.
Right.
So a lot of the times to drive the 911, I'm driving around in a 2001 Volkswagen Golf TDI with a 375,000 miles on it, rust for winter.
Yeah.
So that I can,
the contrast.
I'm not driving a Cayenne turbo and then hopping in my 150 horsepower 911 T.
Right. I don't know if I have 150.
Well, whatever. You know what I mean?
That's generous.
Like I'm always stepping up.
Yes. No, I understand.
Because
that
I'm
makes sense.
I'm in the doldrums of winter driving around some total shitbox.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got the Golf R that I drive sometimes, which is nice. That car is so good. But generally I drive around and like right now it's a 99 Mercedes for sale, rust free.
Dude, how does that thing not have any rust?
I don't know. I'm third owner. If second owner if you count people, third owner if you count the dealership I got it from. 137,000.
Okay. It's not like
an incredible car.
Yeah.
I hope I don't have to sell it.
Okay.
I hope my wife can bail me out of this situation. She makes more money than I do here at Overcrest, so I'm hoping she can book some work and we can afford to just pay Marco cash. Yeah. I don't want to sell my watch. I don't want to sell this car. I want to sell this car after I have a chance to fix the bumper, buff it out.
Does your price reflect things? Like, would you ask more after it's in your mind?
I would like to put it up for auction is what I'd like to do.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Is ideally. I had some guy that was interested in it the other day, and he's like, hey, he rifled me off about 1,000 questions.
Was this the one that you posted then?
He asked me so many questions. He wanted pictures of this. He wanted pictures of that. He wanted every square inch of this. I want to see this bushing. I want to see the speaker grill. Make sure there's not a single crack in it. Show me each part of the wood. Show me this. Show me that. And I go, dude, if I do all this, and it's as clean as I I have presented it as, are you going to buy the car?
Right.
He says there's a strong possibility I'll buy the car. Basically, I'm saying, are you a tire kicker? Are you wasting my time?
Right, yeah.
I said, because if I do all this for you and you don't buy the car, it's a giant waste of time for me.
Correct.
I do all this shit. I spend like an hour and a half taking pictures of every godforsaken detail that this neurotic pussy wanted me to take a picture of. Next day, I go, hey, dude, what do you think? He goes, man, I know you won't believe this, but some shit came up in the last couple of days.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, dude, thanks. Thanks for wasting my time. And then he sent me about a 400-word text message.
On what?
Text.
Right.
That's what you get texted on is on a phone. Text message.
On what topic is what I meant.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't read it. I just deleted it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't care.
I
can tell there was a lot of like capital like words. Like he caps a bunch of shit.
Or something.
He's angry. I kind of
he wanted to justify himself.
Yeah, he wanted to justify himself. And he said, I think the gist of it was like, well, I didn't like your price anyway. And I'm like, I almost was like, well, then you could have made an offer.
Right. That's how this
works. But instead, I just deleted it because that is the biggest fuck you ever. Have somebody spend all that time. I mean, it was an enormous text message. It was a whole like scroll 3 times.
It's just like, dude, why?
I don't know. But anyway, I went delete it and didn't even respond. It's the biggest like ghosting that motherfucker felt so great. Fuck that guy.
Yeah,
that
dude
frustrating.
Sucked. That is frustrating. Okay.
Other update is I have the Mercedes is completely the driven to death car.
McCoy. Dead, Jim. He's dead.
He's dead, Doctor.
He's dead, Jim. He's dead. He's dead, Captain.
How long do you want this to go for?
He's dead.
I mean, I feel like we kind of have to commiserate.
The man is dead.
It's dead. Did a leak down test. It's dead. The motor is dead. The head is warped. I got a straight edge on it. Head's warped, and there's low compression on 4 out of the 6 cylinders.
That's not great.
Not great. So
you got your straight edge in the mail.
Yeah.
And you were able to see that the head is warped.
Yeah, like a machine straight edge. I'm not grabbing a ruler from Home Depot.
Exactly.
Because you have to put like a feeler gauge under it, and you can measure thousandths to find out how much it's warped. I mean, I could just see, I could see the sunrise from another country underneath that thing. I didn't even need to put a feeler gauge on it. It's toasteroni.
Shoot.
So I don't know what to do because I'm basically at square one. Other than the carburetors and the manifolds, which I have,
yes,
and the cams, I'm at square one.
Hold on.
What?
Your wife just texted me.
What?
Jesus, save me. With the electrical.
Yeah, well,
she's clearly listening.
She knows where the fire extinguisher
is. So with the car, when you measured compression, I had a couple questions. One, yeah, that's bad, right? 40% leak down.
I did a leak down, not a compression test.
Right. Which I guess I'm curious how the compression test also factors in. Like, I guess I don't know.
Compression test is how much compression it makes. Like, how much are we compressing compressing?
Right. I guess what I'm curious is, so we know 40% leak down versus like 15 or whatever was acceptable. What would that look like on a compression? You know what I mean? Would it be just as clear, or would you be like, oh, compression is okay?
Heat, I don't know.
It's
a leak down is more indicative, because on a leak down test, you can go, where is the compression lost?
Sure.
Because
that was going to be my next question.
If everything was together and you were doing a leak down test, you could hold your ear next to the throttle body. And you could go, oh,
it's coming up through the valve.
Through the valve.
Which is not as
or
big
the exhaust
of a deal.
or whatever. No, because then you can just rebuild the head and you're fine.
Exactly.
With this, the air, I could hear it leaking through the crankcase, right where the timing chain comes up. It's like,
really?
It's like,
no kidding.
It sounded like, I don't know, it sounded like a lot of air. And that's all lost power. With 40% leak down, you're losing 40% of your compression.
Well, yeah.
Technically.
Well, that's kind of what I was curious about.
And then the motor was cold, so I'm like, oh, I'm going to put a little bit of oil in there. And I let it sit for a second. Then I went and did it again. And everybody's like, oh, is it at top dead center? Is it at top dead center? So, no, it's not at top dead center, but it doesn't matter because there's no cams.
Right.
In the
so
head.
It's not like,
you know, like, it's God, people. There's no cams.
I do wonder. Well, no, it doesn't matter because it's constant volume of air.
Right.
You know, I was thinking, oh, well, if the combustion chamber's smaller, is that going to affect
once it fills up the volume of air there is.
It's as much air is getting by as it's going to get by no matter where the piston is.
Although you do probably have a little bit more cylinder wear at top dead center, perhaps.
So actually, this could be
even worse. So it's leaking past the rings. The motor is toast. It's washed out. It's done. She's done. She's dead.
Yeah.
So I have, dude, I cannot explain to you how overwhelmed I am.
Yeah, you got a lot of car
financially with all the money to spend right now.
Yeah.
So I basically walked away from the garage. I turned the heat off.
Oh,
and left all the tools. Turned the heat off, left all the tools on top of the tool bench, didn't clean anything, just oil on the floor, and I just walked away because there's no reason for me to be out there. I can't think of a reason. Can't think of a reason to be in the garage right now.
That's depressing.
It is depressing. Yeah, it's a huge bummer. I can't afford to do anything with that Mercedes engine, even if I had an idea of what I was going to do, which is either you swap in a new engine and you move on from the carburetors, but I feel like the carburetors are pretty cool.
You get that exact same motor and bolt on the carbs as you have them and everything else?
Yeah, I found a lower mileage, supposedly.
Yeah.
47,000 mile version of one of these engines for like $1,500.
Okay.
It's probably $2,000 shipped.
Yeah.
And then I found a guy who makes an adapter plate so that you can put a SLK 320 transmission on 6-speed.
Yeah, which is what we talked about before.
Yeah, and so I found a guy that makes the adapter plate. It doesn't bolt up like we talked about, but it does. I put the phone number out. Everybody's calling to leave voicemails right now. Good grief.
Which you should do for next week.
You should. I don't even know what the phone number is.
612-500.
1234.
Nope, that's definitely not right. Definitely not. 612-500. 7345.
There you go. Write that down. Hit the back button on your podcast. Write that down. Give us a call anytime.
612-500-7345.
7345. Okay, guys. I don't know. I don't want to talk about cars anymore. My cars. Anymore.
Yeah. No. So just final wrap up question with the D2D car driven to death.
D2D.
D2D. Yeah, got it. Driven to death. Mm-hmm. That's how we write it down. Yeah. Shorthand. What would it take to just rebuild the existing motor?
A lot of work.
Right.
You know, like part of me goes, I could just take the motor out, drop the pan off, take the rods out, run a ball hone down it, throw some rings on there and go.
That's what I'm wondering.
But I'm to the point now where like,
that is an acceptable fix.
It is, but this thing is wasted. There's like a groove on the cylinder head too, like where the race is for where the cylinder or where the camshaft runs inside the cylinder head. It's like marred.
So to do it right, you need that machine,
and it's super warped. So I don't even know that it can be fixed. So I have to get a cylinder head anyway.
Yeah, man. That sucks. I feel for you.
It sucks. And I don't have any room in the garage to do it.
Yeah, I know.
It's because the car is over on the small stall. There's like t-shirts and I don't have any room. I don't have any way to get an engine hoist over there. All right. Before we get into voicemails, let's talk to Richard. What do you say? Richard Rawlings, man. Legend. Thanks for coming on and hang out with me, dude.
I don't know about the legend part. I don't think you're a legend till you die, right?
Yeah, I guess that's true. I guess it comes afterwards, but we can pretend that it'll occur, right? We can always hope.
Right. So thanks for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell me about this giveaway that you're doing, this Hellcat Red Eye.
Man,
Jailbreak. I didn't even know what a jailbreak was. I had to look it up. There's so many. They're sending the whole combustion engine thing off with an incredible amount of amazingness, right? And I didn't know what this one was.
Which is really going to be cool because we've given away about $2 million worth of cars in cash now in the last 5 giveaways, and this one we were racking our brains because we had some really good success with. I was having people, the winner would come here and take any of my cars in my warehouse, and so we had some pretty good success. And I said, well, I want to do something different because other companies that do this, they build something their way, their style, their everything, and then they go, hey, you can win this. And I looked at the Jailbreak campaign and I was like, this is cool. If I could get a slot, then I could put it out there and the person would get to come here, party down with me, have some barbecue from Texas here, maybe a few cold beers if they like, and then design their own car. One of one.
Sounds a little dangerous.
I know. I'll be sitting here going, you want to have it purple? What the hell is wrong with you? But they're going to get to design whatever they want, based on the categories. And there's like 30, 40 choices. And I think it'll be fun to see who wins and what they ultimately end up picking. I mean, if it's me, I'm picking black everything and the most highest horsepower I can get. Right. I'm done. But, that's just how I roll. So I think it's a pretty cool deal. It's an allocation to have something that, this is the last of their kind, they say. It could be like an aging rock band, though. They could come back, every couple of years for the next farewell tour.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's the way all the regulations going. There's no farewell tour when the federal government says, sorry, Rolling Stones, you guys are illegal. You can't play anymore. You know what I mean?
Well, it should be illegal for the Stones to play anymore.
Yeah, you might be right. So what is this Jailbreak? How is this different than a regular Red Eye?
Basically, because you get to spec, being Jailbreak is kind of, I guess, a term of the gates are open. You can pick anything you want. We've opened up the filing cabinets. Order your damnedest. If you want red seatbelts, great. If you want 800 plus horsepower, great. If you want carbon fiber, great. If you want these wheels or those tires or this, there's like 40 different choices. I mean, I think there's like 12 choices of paint alone. So it's kind of like having a free for all. In the order factory, I kind of relate it to the old 60s Copo factory days, when you used to be able to go in and design with a Copo central office production order.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. It reminds me, Mopar guys will love this because anytime you turn on like Meekum or anything, the guy rolls up in the car and they're like, yeah, this is one of one. This guy ordered this with green with a red cigarette lighter and 4 more horsepower than everybody else. And then it becomes one of one. So Mopar guys must love all this stuff coming back where you can pick what you want.
Mopar's always been that way. They have direct connect. Well, they still have direct connection and, different packages you can buy. I mean, Dodge and Mopar in general have always pushed the envelope on, being a little bit cool.
Yeah, for sure. So I think it's great what Dodge is doing. All of this combustion engine stuff is sunsetting, right? We all know it's coming. And as sad as it may be, we kind of it is what it is. But I love the way that they're doing this. I love what they've held to their guns more than any other manufacturer, I think. And I think it's commendable. I think it's fucking awesome. And I think that the sales numbers and what they've been able to do is kind of like a big fuck you to everybody. Like, hey, we're going to do this. People still want this. Well, and I think that's awesome. So it's good to see them doing something like it.
Well, March 20th, they're supposed to be releasing something. And it's supposed to be insane and the last of its kind. And there's supposed to be a big party out in Vegas. I'm hoping that I can make it, but I'm across on the other side of town, the other side of the country. We're going to try to get there, though.
Yeah, Louis L'Amour wrote a book called Last of Its Breed, and it's a really good book. It's a great Western. It's about a guy who's just, last of the breed, and I think that's kind of where
Louis L'Amour, were you bored at church too, reading the Louis L'Amour album?
Dude, I was a kid. That's all there was. My dad had books all over the place. Nobody was buying me books. It was Louis L'Amour and the Sackets across the whole shelf. That was all I had. That's all there was, dude.
That is awesome. So I'm pretty stoked about it. It's fun gig, and sure, it's a business plan. I'm a business guy, but the chances of winning based on the last giveaways I've done, are actually better than trying to win $2 on a scratch off.
I've done that once or twice. That $1 billion comes out at the end of the month or whatever. You go and you buy your ticket. I've done it a couple times, and you're throwing your money away. This is much better odds. I like it.
Yes.
All right. So I want to before I let you go. I know you're a busy guy.
I'm in no hurry, man. I got all day. Check this out. It's beer time here.
Oh damn! Well, yeah. I got to drive home, so that doesn't work. Doesn't work for me. So I've heard that Dodge is going to be starting to, and other manufacturers, this is kind of more of like an industry thing, is as the EVs develop, and I think you saw Mercedes do this a little bit. So you can buy a package that unlocks the car, right? It unlocks more power in the car, and it's just like an add-on. How do you, as like a tuner, how do you feel about the manufacturer kind of taking over that arena of tuning and modifying?
I think that it's a good idea, but at the same time, do you really think it's going to work? I mean, the new tool is your computer laptop. So we're going to find ways to get in there and make it faster, make it better. I mean, go back to 2014 or 15, whenever it was that we jailbroke a Hellcat motor. We had to nix like 96 codes to get that thing to run freestanding. And even Tim Kaniskis at Dodge told me, he goes, "You'll never make it." I said, "Watch." And, we had that car running about 2 weeks later. So we're going to go after it and break into the computers just like we broke into the cylinder heads and the carburetors and everything else.
Yeah, I hope so. Because, I mean, I think I'm going to ask you another question. And I think it'll kind of you've kind of answered what muscle is. As we go into the future and this stuff starts to disappear and combustion engines disappear, the notion is to go, well, muscle is dead. American muscle is dead. But I think American muscle is more than just combustion engines, and I was hoping that you could give me your best definition of what it is.
I think that American muscle is as old as American itself. It's American ingenuity. So just because the rules change doesn't mean we're not going to get in there and make it fast and have some fun. And as I say, scare women and children. It's just a different phase. How long it's going to last? Who knows? Do they have to go back? Who knows? Is it good for the environment? I don't know. Let's wait till there's 300 million batteries laying around the place, rotting and turning three-eyed fish and stuff.
Yep.
And then we'll figure that out. But what I don't like is the way that the government's kind of mandated this, and big companies have pushed this and everything, because the amount of mining and the amount of things that go into making these electric cars are absolutely the same, and I personally believe way worse for the environment than what we're used to doing for the last 110 years.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think one of the biggest issues that we're going to run into is that the infrastructure is not even there. America's got pretty good infrastructure compared to the rest of the world, and we still don't have the infrastructure for it. So it makes you wonder, like, Europe's like, yeah, we're going to have, everything's gone. Like, they're just kicking the can down the road to engineers, saying, hopefully these engineers figure this out by 2035, because all the manufacturers have switched over to making EV shit. So what are we going to do when all these cars for sale don't work because the infrastructure can't handle it?
Well, I guarantee you, they already have the stations and they already have the electricity at the pole. So you're going to be able to pull up to every gas station that's already there right now, serving up, fossil fuel, and get yourself some electric and get on down the road. These charging stations, as we know it right now, will be by the wayside before we blink. And your 7-Eleven or your local, Stop and Shop is going to have EV chargers sitting there, and there you go. Now the lines, if they make the charging fast enough, it probably won't make a difference at all.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't like the regulation and the mandate of it. I like the idea of more things to tune and fuck around with. I love the idea. I think we're gonna have a renaissance in coach building. Like, you have these skateboard like designs with cars where it comes with the motor. You got 2 wheels. There you go. Build something. I think that's fucking awesome.
I think there's going to be a lot of that. As a matter of fact, you're very on track with something I'm fixing to release in the next couple of weeks. It's going to probably blow people's mind, and it'll, like everything Gas Monkey does, it'll either piss you off, make you happy, or you really won't give a shit. Who knows? But it's going to be a lot of fun for us, and we're going to have some fun with an EV vehicle, and as Gas Monkey always does, we're going to kick the doors in.
All right, man. How can people find more about this giveaway?
Dude, GasMonkeyGarage.com. Every dollar they spend, get some different entries. We always have different specials going on. You got just a few weeks left to get entered. And then I'm here 7 days a week unless I'm traveling, and the store's always open. So, always get over there and have some fun with people who come by. And we have people come from all over the world. It's really, really neat to see, how crazy this Gas Monkey thing has become in the 23 years it took to be an overnight success.
That's always it, man. It's like everybody thinks everything happens overnight, and they don't realize how much lost sleep and suffering and boxes of macaroni and cheese it was.
Oh, yeah, you'll hear people like, oh, yeah, man, he got TV and he's all popular now. I'm like, what about the 14 years before television?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
When I was eating ramen noodles and sleeping on my sister's couch.
Yeah, well, there's sometimes there's nothing more comfortable than that sister's couch, because it gives you contrast for you to understand where you came from. And where you came from is great for finding joy and contrast for where you are today.
Absolutely. I wouldn't change a thing, and some of it really absolutely sucked, but we're here and we're having a good time, and I'm really proud of what the brand has become.
All right, man. Well, I hope you get somebody with good taste to help you make this jailbreak car. We look forward to it, and everybody can head over to Gas Monkey Garage, and we'll link it in the show notes so everybody can just click on something, and they can head over and do it.
Cool. Thanks to everybody out there. Thanks to you, sir.
Hey, take care, buddy. Have a good one.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right, let's listen to some voicemails. Maybe somebody can cheer us up a little bit.
Well, yeah, and what are we usually doing with our voicemails is complaining and just talking about...
You know what really grinds my gears? Kids, no good.
All right, let's go for the first one, the oldest one. We'll just play these in order. We have not heard any of these, so if anybody says anything uncouth, we have no control over it. Maybe I'll just delete it later. Anyway, if you don't make the cut this week, you might have not called in time.
Right.
Maybe we'll play it next week. And if these start getting crazy, we might have to start paring things down a little bit. And just for
that's fine, but we like to hear what you guys have going on.
Yes.
You know what really grinds my gears is cars and coffee conversation. That guy that comes up to you, asks you one simple, unrelated question about your car, only to segue into talking about his own shit. I don't know why it bugs me so much. I have a really hard time going. It makes me never want to go to Cars and Coffee, but I feel like every time I go, there's some guy with a random car that comes up and says, oh, nice car. What year is it? You answer the question. He's like, oh, well, come check mine out. It's a 19, whoever cares. Opens the hood, has to spend 25 minutes explaining everything. And then I'm in a weird situation where I don't know how to get out of this awkward conversation. I kind of just want to leave. I don't care about his car at all. And at the end of the day, I never asked.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my rant, guys. Love you. And see you on the pod.
That's
okay.
Not just a Cars and Coffee phenomenon. That is someone who is just selfish and has
just two sides to this. Okay. One, that is what we call a time suck vortex.
Yes. We've talked about the time suck vortex before.
Okay.
You've been sucked in.
That is where you need you just need to pull out your phone and go, hold on a second. Hello.
Yes.
And then you go, I got to take this and walk.
Yep. Or you wave to someone across the parking lot and walk away.
It's the most polite way to do it. However, I will say, the guy's excited.
Right. This is why we go to these car shows and events, though, is because we're all enthusiastic about our cars. We're enthusiasts. And so you have to, I guess, kind of acknowledge hey, he's really excited. You're excited usually too. Maybe not about his thing.
Yep.
At least respect the fact that we're all car guys and are excited about these things.
Exactly.
That being said, yeah, that's a very narcissistic trait to basically only open up a conversation to talk about yourself or your thing.
All right, let's keep it rolling here. This phone, we got to turn off auto lock. I think this is going to be annoying. All right.
Hey guys, Pickle here. This is less of a question and more of a request. I just want to hear you two argue about calling Porsches P cars.
Oh, God.
I'm just assuming you guys disagree on this, but even if you don't, I just like hearing you guys fight. Oh, and Jake, feel free to keep your opening argument short.
Oh, there it was.
Oh, I love it. Love it.
There you go.
It didn't even hit me right away, but I'm glad it hit you right away. Okay, so
this
is
probably the ground. It got to me first.
I have avoided this topic on the podcast for 5 years.
Yeah, for good reason.
The reason is that I'm concerned that there are other
Porsche enthusiasts.
Porsche enthusiasts, P-car enthusiasts.
Yes. Who will take this very negatively and be offended.
There are brands out there that are things. We're not going to argue about this because I think you agree with me.
I do agree. The only thing I'll say is P-car.
So, dude, I was watching Jason Camissa talk about the Fiero and Motor Trend and Car and Driver called Pontiac's P-cars,
which I love.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Because
but it works
Porsche guy
because you're going
calls this car a P-car would be abhorred by that.
Here's the reason why it is stupid. Mercedes-Benz gets abbreviated to Merc or Benz.
Yeah.
BMW gets Beamer.
Yep. Depending if it's bikes, motorcycle. Yes, exactly.
Bikes and cars, right? You have Corvette, Vet.
Yep.
Chevrolet, Chevy.
Yep.
Ford, no one calls it an F car.
You're right.
Because you don't need to abbreviate it. When you say P car, not only do you sound like someone who is urinating in the interior of your Porsche, but you are not shortening up the word.
It's 2 syllables.
Porsche, P car. It is the same.
Yes, you're right.
So unless you're
2
saying,
syllables.
And if you are a guy who says Porsche, and then you're saying P car, it's even worse.
You're right, because you're pronouncing it
making it
correctly,
longer. If there's
longer.
anything we can do, and I know that there's some brands that are really entrenched and have this like trademarked and copyrighted, it's in their thing. But for the rest of us, you don't have to do it.
Sure.
I think one of the things that I think it is I think it comes from like this yuck, like the country club guy he's a really good P-car and you have like this little group of people that it's like wink wink nod nod, we're the P-car club, and it's something you say to other dudes with Porsches because it's kind of like this infinity thing where only Porsche people would ever call a Porsche a P-car. No one else would do it. So you have your little buddy, you go, hey, Tom, boy, man, you should have seen the calls I had at day one expiration did pretty good. I phoned in the order from my P-car. What did you do? Oh, yeah, I was in my P-car. I totally had puts on Boeing, man. The spread on that was wild. Like, fuck off. I hate it so much. Actually, I don't hate it.
No.
I loathe it. And anybody that says it, I laugh on the inside. I laugh.
And there's a little judgment.
Oh, big time. Big time.
Here's what I think is ironic about it. I think it actually came from good intentions, because if you think of, listen to me, just hear me out. This will be the argument portion of this conversation. If you think of the stereotypical Porsche snob, right? He is always, this is the guy that will correct the layman when he pronounces it Porsche. Oh, no, it's Porsche. You know,
guy. Yeah.
Yep. And so that's what you think of. So when a person says P-car, they're trying to self-deprecate a little bit, perhaps, or where it started at least, and be like, well, I'm not the Porsche snob. I can call it a P-car.
Instead,
I can
bring
it down to earth. Right. Well, I know, but what this has done is it's kind of turned into now the people that we think of as the Porsche are the same people that are saying.
So
P-car.
think of the,
Do you know what I mean by that, though?
I guess that just kind of plays into my argument that it's like a collective douchebag thing that only happens. I really don't think Porsche people or people with Porsches walk up to the valet and say, hey, I've got a P-car over there.
No,
they don't do
not.
it. They use it with other P-car dorks.
Right.
I
think it started as showing, well, I'm not obnoxious about it. I can call it a P-car.
Well, that surely is ironic because it's obnoxious.
And
you think, like the Calvin peeing on something?
Yes.
That's what I think of every time. It's like they should put put that sticker.
He's peeing on the
logo
symbol.
of if you have the Porsche logo, Calvin peeing on it.
That's a P-car.
There you go. that is a P-car.
Oh,
so
man.
I feel bad because I know some brands have like embraced it, but it's awful. All right, moving on.
Hey, this is Shane calling from the great Pacific Northwest, and I don't know if you guys know this, but
I probably
in
do.
Washington State, well, it started in Tacoma a number of years ago. They started charging 8 cents per bag in the city of Tacoma. So if you go to the store, you have to pay 8 cents per grocery bag that you get. Well, that was tough. I lived in Tacoma at the time. I thought it was ridiculous, but it's a city law, and I just thought they were crazy. Well, now it's a state law across the great state of Washington. Everyone has to pay 8 cents for bags, unless you want a bag that doesn't break when you carry it, and some stores will offer you a 25-cent bag, which is actually doesn't break.
The upgrade.
Which is, that's really kind of them. And you can buy the cloth bags.
The reusable.
But I just wanted to see if that's a thing across the nation. Is that a thing across the nation? And if not, I do warn y'all that it may be coming to your city or state soon.
I could see that.
A little conversation point. Thought you might talk about that.
So anytime I see somebody with like a canvas bag at the grocery store,
reusable one,
I know exactly who they voted for. Every time. Every single time. I mean, it is such like a marker for like a voting block of people. Honestly, this is
commendable, though. It's commendable. You are trying to save the environment.
It's not commendable because it is a forced thing.
The people that bring
what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to like walk in with like I have a family of 4.
Yep.
I can't walk in with a little canvas bag like some
My
like
wife
silicon.
and I do.
By the way, in California, same thing.
Yeah.
I can't walk into Whole Foods like some Silicon Valley Dorcas and go and then put my nature juice into the bag with my health powder and my super like organic fake meat thing.
You can tell he's never shopped at a Whole Foods.
These are broad categories. I know that you know what they don't have at Whole Foods?
They have?
Alfredo. You can't go in there and buy a jar of Alfredo sauce.
Yes, you can.
No, you cannot because it has preservatives in it. I know this as a fact. So I was
it's a different type of Alfredo sauce. But yes,
probably tastes like garbage.
Okay,
because it has no preservatives in it.
It
was made in.
So why can't you
by somebody that loves the bags in the first place?
Yes, why can't you do this?
Because I would have you aren't there yet. You're shopping for 2.1 people.
Yeah.
Okay?
He's almost my size, let's be honest.
Well, whatever. 2.1 people.
Yep. The way you do it, though, is you have your canvas bag that you stuff full of all of the other canvas bags.
Then, so as you're going, what are you like?
No, you keep your canvas bags
out of
on the side of the cart. You fill up your grocery cart like normal, and then when you go to the checkout, that's when you hand them your canvas bag full of canvas bags.
I'm not doing that. If you want to do that, you should be able to do that, and no one is going to stop you.
And yes, and that's what this is.
But here's the thing:
that's what this is, and then there's just a tax.
This comes back to this. By the way, I grew up in a family where my grandma would keep every plastic bag.
Oh yeah, we still. Well, no, I don't do that. My parents do that too.
Yeah,
though.
I don't
use them.
They use it for other
bags,
things. It's dumb.
And it's really dumb.
You're like you go in their house.
It's problem to take the like Target bag out of the trash can that now is ugly because you see the Target bag outside the trash can.
Yeah, or it's in the bathroom and it's got like Target logos on it.
Yes, exactly.
I don't like any of that. Here's the problem: if we actually recycled properly, it wouldn't matter. Because everybody would just recycle the bags and then they could make new bags from the bags and they wouldn't end up in the ocean. Okay, so when people look at plastic, that's what we're mainly talking about here.
Yes, I agree.
It's plastic and the plastic bags. And we know plastic is bad. We don't do straws anymore. We don't do plastics anymore because we're just this beacon, right? We're this beacon of leading by example, right? The United States. So what we do with the environment. Nobody else cares. Nobody else is looking at the example that we're doing and going, wow, those Americans really get it right. Hold on, let me grab my kebab from this smoking tire fire that I'm using to cook it. Boy, we should just start charging 25 cents per bag, even though I make 25 cents per day.
Right.
Okay. These people can't do it. When you look around the world, there's no infrastructure for this. It's never going to happen. We are the proverbial drop in the bucket when it comes to plastics. However, if we would just recycle properly, which we don't, look up recycling. Recycling is a scam. Okay, we can do an episode about it if you want.
Not a scam, but behind the scenes it depends on the jurisdiction. But a lot of times the recyclables do make it into the trash.
They make it into the trash. It is not most of what you put in your recycled bin doesn't get recycled. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah.
And it's a bummer.
It is.
So if we recycled properly, this wouldn't be a thing. So
and that's not at the individual level. That's at the municipality.
Yeah, that's not our fault. I recycle.
Do you want to hear probably with this topic, like the worst example? Is I've gotten the like reusable canvas bags and then just thrown them out, which is like the worst of both worlds, right?
Oh, they're biodegradable, I'm sure. We're not going to have any time for news again. That's great. I'd rather talk to people and talk to you.
Thanks.
This is Hamburger Fantasy. Kyle, Where's the next rally? Fords are great. Mustangs are cool.
Yep.
Driving your car is cool.
Uh-huh.
Okay, bye.
What was that last one?
That's it. That's all we got. Okay. If you don't know, if you've been hiding under a rock, we're with Hamburger Fantasy.
Yes. Or that's an old voicemail. Might be the case.
No, 12:02 today.
Oh, okay.
So we're in Oregon this year.
Yeah, that's right.
We are in Oregon, is where the rally is. And here's the deal.
What's the deal, Chris?
I'm going to talk about this in the open because I'm concerned.
Okay.
We can only bring a certain amount of people on the rally.
Yes.
You know where I'm going with this.
I do.
Okay. We can only bring a certain amount of people on the rally.
And why is that, Chris?
Because the places we go are often very rural.
Yes.
And it's not fair to overwhelm a town of 300 with 1,000 people.
It's not logistically possible.
Not logistically
There's not
possible.
going to be places for people to sleep, eat.
And to add more people just to make more money so more people could come.
Our mission.
It's not our mission.
State that.
We have a very specific formula of how I want people to experience the roads that I find.
We could make a lot more money just by charging people more.
We're not going to.
We keep this very cheap because we want it accessible.
Accessibility and the experience is what it's all about. Now, we're doing a few things this year, this year specifically, to make more people to be able to participate in the Overcrest experience. The stuff's going to be coming out very soon.
Yes.
And next year,
we already have plans to make it even more open.
Next year.
Yeah. What are you saying? No, let's not do it yet.
Okay, next year something.
That's still a secret. But what I will say, Chris wants to tell us all more things.
I know.
Actually, you just mimed it for those watching.
Yeah, but I held my arm way off camera.
Is it off screen?
It was off screen.
Okay, so for all anyone knows, he was just flicking me off. That's all it was. Yeah, there it is. No, the whole point is we understand that there's more demand than we're able to fulfill as far as letting people.
Because last year we had 300 to 500 people apply for the rally.
Yeah,
and we brought 80 cars.
Cap it at
we have to
80 to 100.
So
it's just because we could change the entire formula and say, you know what, we're going to go to cities only.
Yeah.
We're going to go freeways, and we're going to take 500 cars. But that's not what we're about, and that would totally change the dynamic and the atmosphere of the rally.
I have a lot of ideas. Yes. I am overflowing with ideas for different ways to do the rally, and I promise you guys, I don't want Overcrest to feel like this elitist thing where we only are letting a few people in, blah, 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 and people get upset and butthurt that they didn't make it because their friend made it, and then they're mad, and they're talking behind closed doors about how a bunch of elitist pricks we are. It's not what I want.
No.
We are doing the best we can to create more things so more people can come.
Yes.
It just can't happen right away. Okay? So just be patient with us. We're doing everything that we can. And I promise we're going to be doing some things that everybody can come on. I promise.
Yeah, making it more accessible.
Especially over the next year or two. Things are going to be growing immensely for you guys.
That's right.
All right, here we go. Last one.
Hey guys, this is Alex Whizbang on the Discord, free plug there. So this question isn't about how many cars one should own. This question is about, is it better and more fulfilling as a car enthusiast to go into a deep dive into one manufacturer where you have the spare parts, maybe you have multiple cars, you know the people, you know the meats, or is it better just to have a bunch of diversity and a whole bunch of different makes and models? Thank you.
So I went through this.
Mm-hmm.
So I was a Volkswagen guy for a long time.
Right.
Mark 1s, Mark 2s.
You knew him inside out.
Knew him inside out. I had parts all over the place. I could do swaps. I had transmissions flying around.
Point, you know the vendors. Yep. You know the people. You know who can fix them. You know the resources.
Yep, exactly. You have all kinds of things that you can reach out to for help.
Knowledge. Yep. Versus.
That's very valuable.
Yes.
But it can get old. Because you will reach a certain point where you have felt that you can do everything that you can do. I felt like, what else can I do? I built a amazing Mark 1 Rabbit.
Right.
I owned 15 of the things.
Yeah.
I mean, I got to the point where I just wanted to experience other things. And that kind of started with the chrome yellow Scirocco that I had.
That's right. You put the 1.8T.
And I sold that and I bought a 911 and started, that was wow.
Branching out.
That was my first branching out was a 911 SC and starting to experience that. And then I sold that and I got into my other car. And then that was like, I realized that was my forever car, but then I still wanted to experience new things.
Right.
So then I just started going fucking crazy. And just owning so much shit. Like I owned a million different kinds of Volkswagens, and I do want to do another Rabbit.
Yeah.
I would like to do another Rabbit in a way that's like, this is exactly how I want to do it without compromise.
Oh gosh.
So I would like to do that. And it's not what you're thinking. But I also still want to continue to experience all kinds of new stuff. There's too many cars out there to boil it down to just one thing.
Yeah, and you can risk sounding snobby or elitist by being like, yeah, I would just have a whole bunch of different cars that you can enjoy, all the different types of. My point is, you don't need to own the car to understand and appreciate that genre, subgenre.
Yeah, own it.
What?
Own it. There's so many. I don't care.
You can't be an American Muscle fan unless you got one. That's what you're saying.
I think you can be an American Muscle fan, but you're not going to be an American Muscle romanticist. You're not going to be someone that experienced it. You're not going to be part of that.
You're right.
Totally
the experience is owning it. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with that.
Yeah.
I'm in between because I have a lot of Porsches and had a lot of Porsches specifically. So I am kind of that guy. But I also have had
You have not
Mustang.
had a lot of Porsches.
I currently have
Yeah, but new cars don't count because they don't need anything.
3, 4.
Your 944
5.
counts.
Okay.
And your 911 counts.
Okay.
The rest don't count.
Okay.
Because they're just new. They didn't need anything. You didn't do anything with them really, other than just put a roof rack and some wheels and light bars at Pep Boys. Yeah. Like that doesn't
expensive Pep Boys.
There's not like a
I read about the top end of my 996.
That's true. You did have that 4-liter thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was a cool car.
Yeah.
You should have kept that one. That was
I
a
know.
great
That was
car.
Timing.
I didn't know you well
timing.
enough to be like, you're a moron.
Right.
Now I do. You're a moron.
Yeah,
You
no,
should've
I
kept
agree.
that.
Yeah, that was a moron move.
All right, guys. I want to remind everybody to head over to...
Wait, that's it?
That's it. We're done.
What?
We're done. We still got to talk to Richard Rawlings and fill that interview in at the beginning.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Jesus. We talked for 50 minutes, and I thought we were going to talk to Richard Rawlings after the voicemails.
Yeah.
We're going to have to fill that in somewhere else.
What?
The interview with Richard Rawlings. We're going to have to put it at the beginning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we'll just move it up there.
Oh, I see what you mean because we want to get to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Head over to what is our? I'm having a stroke. Are they contagious? Head over to overcrestproductions.com/drivers club to support the show.
That's right.
All kinds of stuff. You can join the Discord. You can call our voicemail now. We love you guys.
Yeah.
We love interacting with you. We love DMing with you. It is awesome.
It is a community.
It is a community. I love interacting with everybody. It keeps me going because this is so much work. I absolutely love it. We're going to leave it at that for now. We will see you guys at the end of the week when we have Dmitry Orlov from BBI coming on.
Awesome.
To talk about everything, engineering with BBI. And he's got a really cool story that I didn't know about. And, I always kind of poke around at people and find out who they are before I talk to them. And it seems like it's going to be a really interesting interview. So I hope you guys hang out for that one. On that note, we will see you guys next week.
Take care.